Boxing fans around the world, thank you once again for joining us on Talking Fight for another Friday night panel. We've got Christian, we've got Cedric, we've got Mike, and in the green room, we've got Tim Witherspoon waiting for him. Yes, we've got the two-time former heavyweight champion of the world,
Yes,
former sparring
yes,
partner
yes.
of Muhammed Ali himself in the green room. Uh, and we know we've got a lot of excited viewers out there waiting to hear what he has to say because he has some pretty exciting news himself and some great stories, I might add. This guy's a pretty friendly chap, I must say. He's a great talker. While we're waiting for him to figure out some technology on his end, why don't we start with you, Christian? Give us a little bit of history piece.
Absolutely. I always keep a fight queued up for just such occasions here. Talking tonight about George Foreman and little just after the Rumble in the Jungle in his fight against Ron Lyle. Now, coming back from Zaire after the Rumble in the Jungle, Foreman's image and his own identity, like his professional persona, his identity, it kind of got all tangled up together, so much so that George really did start to regard himself as an invulnerable, force of destruction, unbeatable and overwhelming. And, sure, he lost from time to time in the amateurs, but no one had really ever humbled him the way that Ali did. And Foreman kind of lacked the inner strength to withstand the resulting blow to his confidence and self image. Now, evidence was in his inability to accept that loss. First claiming to have been the victim of a fast count by the referee, and when that didn't stick, Foreman then declared that he had been drugged by his own corner before his showdown with the greatest. Now, these dubious excuses only made the vanquished former champion a bit sad in the public eye, and he soon became a bit of a laughingstock when on national television he took on five fighters, one after another, in a kind of a bizarre exhibition at Maple Leaf Gardens here in Toronto. So, the point of this whole exhibition was to reestablish Foreman's image as the most dangerous heavyweight in the world, and thus force Ali into giving him a rematch. But with Howard Cosell branding the whole thing a carnival and a charade, and with the crowd booing and throwing garbage into the ring and chanting Ali after each of his victories, the whole affair just kind of backfired on him. And while George did win all five contests, the bouts themselves were sloppy and even comical at times, with the event more chaotic than anything else, with brawls erupting between rounds and after the fights, and Ali constantly taunting Foreman from ringside. So if Ali and Foreman rematch, represented a difficult sell following, the surprise knockout win, this fiasco kind of rendered it into the realm of impossible. Now, what we know now, but what no one at the time could have possibly predicted, is that the story of George Foreman would eventually become one of the most extraordinary and redemptive in all of heavyweight boxing history. From an Olympic gold medal to a shocking knockout of Joe Frazier for a title, to the Rumble in the Jungle, to an upset loss to Jimmy Young, and a full decade away from boxing, to a somewhat preposterous comeback, complete, with battles against, Evander Holyfield, Tommy Morrison, before incredibly regaining the heavyweight championship of the world with an astonishing one-punch knockout over Michael Moorer. Now, the whole decades-long saga is, of course, the stuff of, movies and fairy tales. And, yet it all happened, as Jim Lampley would, famously say. But to fully appreciate Foreman's accomplishments, we really need to take a bit of a closer look at what came next at his slugfest with Ron Lyle some 8 months after the Toronto fights. Now, that victory, perhaps more than any other, is the one that proved that Foreman had the character to go on and eventually become a true, one of the all-time greats. So, following the debacle in Toronto, George had resolved to begin afresh. He hired new trainers, Gil Clancy and Kid Rapides, and set himself to face Lyle, a powerful, tough ex-con who had endured more than 7 years of hard time at Colorado State Penitentiary, and at one point had even been declared dead in the aftermath of a vicious prison brawl. Once released, Lyle had battled his way to the top of the heavyweight division with wins over Oscar Bonavena and Jimmy Ellis before losing to Ali in an 11th round TKO just a month after Foreman's five-man circus. So Lyle had, in fact, given Ali pretty much all that he could handle in the rounds leading up to the referee stoppage, one that was loudly protested by Lyle and his handlers, and has since and had since rebounded with a knockout over Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers. Thus a victory over Lyle would have gone a long way to restoring George's former status as an actual, truly dangerous force in heavyweight boxing. So the match was going to be held at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas and broadcast on national television, with Cosell once again ringside. And what transpired that January afternoon has since become nothing short of legendary. So the fireworks really got underway in earnest near the end of the opening round when Foreman made the mistake of dropping his hands after a clinch, and Lyle landed a crushing right that had George staggering all over the ring before the bell saved him from disaster. Now, round 2 saw the momentum shift dramatically. Now it was Lyle on the ropes and in trouble, but the timekeeper somehow rang the bell a full minute early before the end of the round, robbing Foreman of a chance to capitalize. Round 3 also belonged to Foreman, and a somewhat passive Lyle appeared to be emulating Ali's victory over George and allowing the champ to unload his heavy artillery and tire himself out. So with 3 rounds in the books, it had already been an action-packed battle, but both of these guys were just starting to get warmed up. So round 4 was pure mayhem. Lyle smashed home another big right hand, and this time Foreman wasn't just hurt. This time he hit the canvas like a 226-pound bag of wet cement. George got it. George did get up, and Lyle moved in for the kill, but it was Foreman who scored a wild right and then a hook that put Lyle flat on his back. And for a moment, it looked like the whole thing had been decided. But the man from Colorado beat the count and rushed back in for more. Both power punchers held their ground and continued to trade bombs until Lyle struck back and down went George for a second time. Now, once again, it appeared to be decided, but the Texan somehow managed to stagger to his feet. And now, just as Lyle had been saved by the bell, a premature bell, albeit, in an abridged round 2, a hurt Foreman heard the sound of the gong and desperately lurched to the safety of his corner. Now, as the story goes, Clancy confronted his fighter between rounds and gave him the news in no uncertain terms. He told Foreman, "He's hurt, you're hurt. The one who's going to win this one is the one who wants it most." Clancy then leaned in close and stabbed Foreman in the chest with his finger and said, "Do you want it the most?" The bell for round 5 sounds, and it was evident that despite heaving chests and trembling legs, both warriors wanted it. They collided at the ring center like a pair of grizzly bears, and it was Lyle who had the advantage as he crowded Foreman and let his hands go. Barely a minute in, a thudding left almost. I swear I can speak English, guys. In a thudding left.
It's fucking fight, man. We're speaking of boxers.
Yeah, there we go. It's all good. It's all good. Either way, it put George down again a third time. Is the point of what I was stuttering through there? Is Lyle put George down for a third time, and after that he struggled to stay upright as Lyle tried to push him over the edge. Another left buckled Foreman, but the former champ righted himself and scored a series of jabs and a hard right. Lyle returned fire with an impressive combination: uppercut, hook, and a big right hand. Foreman refuses to go down, though, and instead came back with 3 brutal rights of his own. Now, at this point, both of them are on rubbery legs and teetering about the ring like drunken sailors as the crowd are just losing their minds. But, one of them is going to have to cave from the nonstop punishment. And indeed, it was at the end, an exhausted and dazed Lyle who staggered backwards into his own corner. And that was the point that Foreman went in for the finish, pouncing and firing a nonstop barrage and landing more than 20 unanswered blows before Lyle finally collapsed at Foreman's feet and was counted out. So that thus ended one of the most thrilling slugfests in heavyweight history, and while barely surviving an encounter with an opponent Ali had already beaten, it really didn't do a whole lot to convince the public that Foreman deserved another shot at Ali. The victory did go a long way into restoring some of Foreman's dignity and erasing the memory of the 5-man carnival here in Toronto. But that is our history lesson for the day, lads.
Excellent.
Have we got Tim with us yet, or are we going to start with? Are we going to take a look at the cards for this weekend?
Yeah, there's not too many cards, man. We could just get that over with and get them out of the way. Yeah, so that just answered my question there.
There you go.
All right, so let's get on it, man. We got the Colbert and Nyambara card.
I'm expecting Colbert to
still retain his undefeated 15-0 and become the WBA interim world super feather title is what I hope you're saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you're on the same card as me there, Cedric, like always. I'm hoping it's going to end in a nice knockout.
Hopefully an impressive knockout for the knockout.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping. But what I do like about this card is also Michael Riviera is on this card as well. He's fighting John Fernandez. You got Mr. 20-0 versus Mr. 21-1. That's going to make for an epic battle, man, because I know Michael Riviera, he's really, really adamant on keeping that undefeated record going. Actually, I like this card because it's literally a bunch of undefeateds versus first-time loss. Right? We got first-time losers versus one-time winners, a couple there. But yeah, it's a really small card. There's a few fights on it. We got a couple. We got the light, super bantam, some super feathers, a fly feather. It's going to gear up to be a nice card. It's the only one that's really televised in US. It's on USA Showtime. But there is another card. If you guys can watch it, definitely we got to get behind it. It's our girl Miyamoto. Miyamoto is headlining this card, and she will be fighting for the vacant New Zealand Professional Boxing Commission's female super light title against Michaela Jenkins. And she will be back to be in the interview.
What time of day is that going to be on?
That's exactly what I was going to ask. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Well, hang on. I'm gearing up for the Tokyo Olympics, and that's going to be like some 2 a.m. starts for their morning session. So I'm going to have to go nocturnal for like a week at the end of the month here. So what time's this Motu fight on?
That'll be early in the morning, guys. Probably about if I can check out my secret place that I use that we won't mention online. I believe here. Let me check, and I'll get the time for you guys, just so you guys can watch it with me.
All right, Mike. Will you look that up? Give me a second here. You look that up. Cedric, we missed you last week here on the panel. I know there were some technical issues, so you may remember, because I believe you were watching, I was talking a lot of smack about Tank Davis and his Barrio fight that was upcoming, saying that there was no possible way that this kid was going to be able to come up 2 weight classes for one fight and then planning on dropping back down to 130 pounds.
And I said, what he said he was going to do. It's
too much. It's too hard on the body for him to be working at any kind of, potential to be observed, have any kind of real potential in this fight. And obviously I was dead wrong.
Yeah,
so someone who does strength and conditioning I know what you have to say, Mike. I want to hear what someone who has some strength that does strength and conditioning training explain why I was wrong here. Why was this kid able to do that and still come out on top?
As far as moving up and down in weight classes, specifically with Davis, a lot of people, he's had trouble making weight before, but there's two reasons why boxers have trouble making weight. Either they're getting too big for that weight class just from growing, or simply they're not disciplined with their nutrition. For me, they're partying or whatever. In Davis's case, I think it was just from not being disciplined with nutrition. That's why he's able to go down in weight. As far as moving up, you still want to be disciplined with your nutrition, but keeping up with your conditioning as well. Since Mayweather has kept a close eye on him, he hasn't missed weight. So I think he's staying more focused during camp. The skills in the ring have always been there, but as far as staying disciplined outside of the ring, I think there's more focus there. So saying all that to say this, that's, he's been more disciplined, eating better, and keeping his skills up, his conditioning, so you can work on your skills as far as when you're moving up in weight class. So the thing that I was really impressed of is how when you're moving up in weight classes, if you're able to keep up your power. That's the one problem. When you move up in weight classes, you either have to make sure you have the power or the skill level to keep your opponent off you. Sorry if I'm rambling on a little bit too much.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Continue.
With that, so even though, just to be clear, we know Barrios wasn't the number one champion at the division. It's clearly Josh Taylor who's the undisputed champion. As far as, but can we at least agree he was a top 5 boxer at the 140 pound division? So for that, I was impressed. I was impressed that he was able to maintain his power moving up. I knew the fight played out the way I thought it was. I knew Barrios was gonna give him some good work. you guys know I always look into the coaches too. Virgil Hunter is Mario Barrios' coach, who's also Andre Ward's coach.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I knew he was going to have him prepared. What I was really impressed was when he got knocked down in that 8th round, when it was very close to being stopped, he survived that 8th round, and I actually thought he won the 9th round with boxing skills, like being able to keep him off him, not just simply surviving. I actually thought he won that 9th round. So we'll see where he goes, where he goes from there. I think Barrios.
We knew it was going to be kind of a predictable the way the fight had to play out with the height and reach difference between those two. So I mean, Tank had to be on the inside. He had to stay close.
Yeah,
because this is what I was saying. All Barrio had to do was stay mobile and keep this kid at arm's length, and it was his fight to lose. And he was not able to do that. He was not able to keep him on the outside.
No,
he was trying to do it with his boxing skills, but I don't even know he weighed more. I don't think he had the power. He had respectable enough power to keep Davis off of him. The skills were definitely
not
there.
With the jab alone, no.
Not with the jab alone. Again, the one a lot of times when I boxers, I tell some like you could pop the jab a lot, but sometimes the way I say it has to be a FU jab. Like you got to make the person's head snap back, like to put a little bit of power to make it more respectable. Because if every punch is just pop, 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 like eventually the person will just walk through those. But every once in a while, if there's a little bit more pop on that, then it'll make the person at least hesitate before coming forward. So Barrios, he didn't give Davis any reason to hesitate to come forward, which is the reason as the rounds went on, Davis just kept on doing what he's doing with his athleticness, and it's not he's fast and defense is good too. He does get hit, but this kid is good. The kid is good, and he's still young enough to grow too.
Yeah, proved me wrong.
Christian, you seem to be frozen there.
Am I?
Yeah, we can hear your voice. Your beautiful face hasn't moved in a few minutes, so to let you know.
I think someone in your family's watching porn.
Probably his brother.
Wow. One more back to boxing.
Sorry about that.
Well, I don't know if I'm still frozen or not, lads. But
anyways, guys,
Mike, if you found out about that Motu fight,
it's not watchable on my end, so I'm gonna have to find a stream somewhere tomorrow to watch that. And unfortunate, I won't be able to let you guys know what it. Well, I'll be able to let you guys know because I can call you. But our fans out there watching around, I won't be able to let you guys know where to watch it. Unfortunately, it's not. It's been broadcast on anything that we have here. I know it's throws, but the matchmaker is Isaac Peach, and it's Isaac Peach Promotions. So it's definitely going to be somewhere. I'm definitely going to find it. I'm going to have to message Mia herself and ask her. And she'll definitely hook me up with the link, or she'll stream it off her phone and show it to me live. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely want to watch that fight, man.
I thought you had her on speed dial, Mike. I
do have her on speed dial. I do have her on speed dial, and I will definitely speed dial her and call her up and say, "Hey, what's up? When's this fight? Where's this fight at? Where can I watch it? Because I'm going to be watching that one, man."
I mean, all these girls
back in for an interview.
I can't believe how tightly knit these girls' fighters are. I mean, when you were talking to Nicola Hopewell, she's connected to Ebony Bridges, and then there's this
also
whole
connected
community.
to Holly Towell, who's also connected to Ellie Colson. Like all these girls are all tightly lit. It's a tight knit community, man. It's these girls they're all friends, man, friends of each other, and it's great, man. It's great. Any word on our guest this evening?
our producer I just asked our producer that, and he said that they're working on a technical bug at the moment. On
one more, just to go on Tank. One more thing that I am still impressed with. He's still, out of all these fights, he's only went the distance with one person. He's on one of these streaks, the same impressive streak that. Even though the level of competition might have not always been there, if you're in like the double-digit amount of stoppages in the 20s in your career, it's very impressive for whatever reason it is. Like the same way it was impressive for Triple G, going through, smashing everybody on his way up. Same thing with Wilder, stopping everyone, without the skills, but still stopping everyone. The thing with Davis, I think he has the skills. I was saying a while ago that I was saying he was the Deontay Wilder of the lower weight classes, just from.
I was going to say, what was the drive-by on Wilder there without the skills? What was the drive-by there?
Oh no, I'm not in a disrespectful way. Not no skills.
Listen, Deontay Wilder has a right hand. That's all he's known for.
No, but again, sorry, no. I didn't mean to go on that. But at the end of the day, he didn't win a bronze medal at the Olympics. You don't just have that with just having it right. You have to have some kind of skill to win a medal.
Exactly.
I just wish he used it more. Wish he used it more.
Well, apparently he's going to be using it more against this in this next fight in July.
He's had, again, going into that one, it's not like he had any tune-up fights in between to work on anything, and especially late in this career, you're not really trying to do anything new. The only thing that I would do, that I would try to incorporate, is just more jabs. Like, as far as sparring, what I have the boxers do sometimes with the higher skilled boxers, like the national level boxers, I'll have one of the novice level boxers get in the ring and tell them they can use both hands and go as hard as they want, and the national level boxer can only use their jab. And then as the novice gets better, then I'll tell them they can only use not just the jab, but still only their left hand, and then you can move on from there. So that's kind of what I would do with Wilder. I mean, it's kind of different with heavyweights, because they still, even the novices hit hard at heavyweights. But even something like having the novice wear 20 ounces, and the higher level boxers still wear the 16s, but still only using that jab, because they know how to, just to have that inside their head that all you can use is that jab.
It works. It does work. I'll tell you that much. It does work.
I know Tim Witherspoon, former world champion, will definitely give us his
insight.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I
think we do have incoming audio from Tim. I'm not sure if we've got video, but I think we do have some incoming audio.
Great.
I think he's using his flip phone from the 70s. I don't know. Actually, sorry, I don't even think they had cell phones back then.
Yeah, they did. They were the brick phones, the big gigantic bricks from like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, those were early 80s, buddy.
Actually, first cell phone was 1976.
Really?
Yep.
Random facts. Wow, how did you just come up with that one?
I watched a show on it.
I remember getting a brick phone in around the early 90s.
Wow.
They had them.
And it cost $1,200, that thing.
Wow.
Anyway, our producer is telling us that Tim is on the line. He's trying. He would rather come in as a video guest, but we do have him on. We do have him on the phone.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Is this two-time world heavyweight champ Tim Witherspoon?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine, champ.
Let me say this. This is the first time that you'll try to find this, Schneider. This is the first time that really had a good setting. There's guys talking, the cameras look like a good studio, and I can't get through. I've been doing the pods and stuff for different stuff, and I look and see y'all guys having fun and y'all talking, having a good conversation, and now I can't get through. My daughter's trying to get it on the laptop. I apologize, man. Y'all gotta have me back on. Let me get the
definitely anytime you want, champ. Anytime you want.
Okay.
Okay. One of our first episodes, we were talking about fighters from Philadelphia and what a reputation that city has. But Christian had a really good. We were sitting on a patio the other day having a beer, talking about you, Tim, and Christian had a great question. Go ahead, Christian, lay it on him.
Oh, we were talking about sparring partners, and we were talking about what it's like to hold the bag for a heavyweight, to be on the other side of holding the bag for a heavyweight. And I happen to know that you were on the other side of the heavyweight bag for Muhammed Ali, and I want to know what it was like to try to hold the bag for that man.
I wasn't holding the bag for him. I was his sparring partner. I wasn't his trainer. No, the trainers usually do that. when they got boxers and they trying to work on certain things, they getting back in the bag, and regular people do it too, so they can work hard and make them stronger and get sharper and stuff. But I was his sparring partner. I didn't hold the bag. But
Fair enough.
Hitting that bag makes you stronger, sharper, and then also for your cardio. It's good for your cardio when you hit that bag.
That's great. Tim, hi, this is Cedric here. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you. Out of that sparring, for any boxers that are listening right now, what can you say? You sparred with one of the, if not the greatest of all time. Like, what exactly did you learn from that? Like, what did you learn from that you took with you later on in your career? What did you absorb from that sparring? What, for any boxers listening right now, what did you learn from that sparring with Muhammad Ali?
Okay, well, I got an interesting story to tell you about that. And you know what? I'm really upset because my face is not on there. That's why we got to do this again.
Yeah, we will. We
will for sure.
Yeah, I'm really upset, man, because we got this here, and I'm so. When I was in Philadelphia training, I was an amateur. Real quick, I was an amateur and everything, and people started hearing about me doing real good, and so they offered my trainer, who was really a good trainer. I didn't know at the time, and most young people don't know who's good or bad unless they got information from some of their friends. Come watch the trainer. So I was waiting for one guy, but he would never come. So me and my friend. And Buster Drayton is a middleweight champ. I'm from the same neighborhood as the middleweight champ Buster Drayton from. He got knocked out by Julian Jackson. Remember in England?
Yes, Julian Jackson. Yep.
Right, he knocked Buster Drayton out from my neighborhood. He's older than me, Buster. But I was training with Saad Muhammad up in Ali's camp.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But before that, Larry Holmes was looking for me because he heard about me. He wanted me to be a sparring partner. He was going to pay me $1,000 a week. And so they contacted my trainer, and my trainer, who don't really know that much, but he know people, didn't tell me. He lied. He didn't tell me.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
People that. I heard from other people, why didn't you take that deal with Larry? And I said, what are you talking about? They said, yeah, he told your trainer, Clarence Booker was his name. So I left Clarence Booker and went up to Ali's camp. I was sparring with Matthew Saad Muhammad, and Muhammad Ali walked in one day. They came in, and everybody in the gym stopped. The greatest of all time walked in. And I was like, oh, he said, go ahead, continue. So I sparred with Saad Muhammad. And so then he's like, after the sparring session, he said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to fight Larry Holmes, and I want you to be one of my sparring partners." I said, "Oh, that's good." So I went home, come back. We trained with Ali, and I never got a chance to really feel what he had because he was sick, and nobody knew. Yeah, he was sick.
Okay.
So when I was boxing with him, I was coming at him, and he wasn't punching hard, and they was doing stuff with him. He was going in the room, so we didn't really get it. So when we went to Vegas, real quick, I'm trying to do it real quick. We flew to Vegas to the fight with Larry Holmes, right? Yep. So here I am, a young man, young heavyweight, doing real good. I just want to get out of Vegas. I didn't want to be around all the people. I just wanted to go home. So I was going over to Howard Bingham's room, who's Ali's photographer and one of his confidants, right? So on the way over to his room, I heard them arguing in the room about whether Ali should fight or not. And I said, whoa, just say that? Yeah, so I stopped. I'm not taking up all the time, am I?
No. You take as much time as you want.
I'm gonna tell you what happened before the fight. So I said, wait a minute. I heard them saying he not fight. So I laid back and I was spying. The door was wide open. They had Gene Kilroy, Bundini, Drew Bundini, they had Angelo Dundee, and my trainer, he was real good, and everybody respected him, Slim Robinson. And there was other people in there. They was arguing about whether he should fight or not. I said, whoa, what the hell is going on? So I waited another 2 minutes, and they was arguing back and forth. Ali was sitting on the bed. The door was wide open. So then I walked down to Howard Bingham room. I knocked on his door. I said, look, his wife answered. I said, look, I want to go home. I'm tired of all this stuff. I'm young, I just want to get out of here and go home and stuff like that. So she was like frustrated. Well, Howard is tired. He got to lay down. He's got to go down. Howard came to the door and said, look, man, I'll try my best. But then his wife closed the door in my face, and I said, I was mad. So I walked down back towards Ali's room to go to the elevator, and they're still arguing. Just arguing about not letting a fight. I said, oh my God, we might not fight. So I ran over to the Dunes Hotel where I was staying with all the sparring partners and everybody. And I said, yo, the fight might not go off. And it was like, what? I heard them arguing. So I started telling everybody, okay, real quick. So then when the fight came, I knew after the first couple of punches that Ali was going to win. And then I realized that argument was about letting him. So a lot of people don't know this, y'all. I was a witness. You guys and about maybe 10 other people I told since then, or maybe more, just hearing this.
Well, more now.
Ali fighting. Yup. Fighting home. He was sick. He was sick. He shouldn't have done it.
Just to be clear, this is the Ali versus Larry Holmes fight you're speaking of?
Yeah. The Ali versus Larry Holmes. I was Ali's sparring partner. And I was wondering when he was going to show on me, because I was young and beat up on me, and it never happened. Even though I was aggressive and strong, I could protect myself. And I thought something was odd. And we get to Vegas, and I walked into that argument. And a lot of people don't know that. They know Ali lost, but they don't know all the little bits and pieces that led up to the fight. But I witnessed it. One of his sparring partners. Yup. So Ali was sick, guys.
Champ, I have a question for you. My name is Mike. Nice to meet you. Honestly, thanks again for taking the time to come on.
I'm sorry I ain't on video. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Next time we'll get video. It'll be great. Your nickname, Terrible. It was given to you by Muhammed Ali, correct?
No.
That's what I've heard. Can you tell us how you got that name then? Because there are people out there saying that your nickname Terrible was given to you by Muhammad Ali. And you know what? Let's hear how you got it.
Let me tell you, I like to give credit to when credit's due, and it worked out pretty good that somebody had said that Ali was doing it, but he didn't. It was a friend of mine's name. His name was Talkin Eddie Burgess, and I grew up with him. And this is how the name Terrible came about. When I was little in high school and stuff like that, terrible meant good when you was playing certain sports.
Right.
Or, if you know what I'm saying, if this dude hit a home run, hit 5 home runs, they said, man, that boy is terrible. Or 1-2, you can imagine it. If this dude knocked this dude out with a 1-2, oh, that boy is terrible.
Yo, I love it.
Yeah, back then, terrible meant real good.
That's wicked.
Talkin never came to the gym with me. This friend of mine, he never came to the gym. He said, I'm going. He walked up to the gym with me, and you know where the gym is? It's right there in the Italian market where Rocky made his movie.
Right.
There. Remember when he walked down the market? It's right there. That's where the gym was. And I'm the real 2-time heavyweight champ of Philly in real life. So we went up in the gym, and I started sparring with this heavyweight. He was a strong, big heavyweight, and I did real good. And afterwards, Talib said, "Man, you terrible. I'm a turn in the neighborhood." Somehow it got to Ali, and Ali kept calling me Terrible Tim. Every time I boxed him, yo, you Terrible Tim. And all that, he was telling people, and then people started saying he the one that gave me the name. But I asked Ali, I said, Ali, I have a friend that really gave me that name, but it got written in the books that you gave me the name. I said, look, I'm going to have to give credit when it's due. And he was like, okay, Tim. He said, he really was vague on it. He didn't really, like people were saying it. Maybe he didn't know that people were saying that, but that's, so I like to give credit when it's due. It was a friend of mine I grew up with, and he gave me the name, and he was following me to the fights, and so I started traveling a lot. So Ali didn't, and he was perfectly fine with it. Ali didn't give me the name. It was person I grew up with.
That's awesome. Thanks for clearing that up for everybody, Chip.
So Tim, you also fought Larry Holmes, didn't you? Tim, you also fought Larry Holmes, did you not?
Man, I wish I was on television, man. It's okay. Let's get it on. Come on.
Okay. No, the reason I asked, because I think that's interesting, because you mentioned earlier that Larry Holmes had tried to get in touch with you because he was looking for a sparring partner. So how do you think things would have gone differently if you had been sparring with Larry Holmes at the beginning of your career as opposed to Ali, especially when those two came head to head? How would your trajectory have changed, do you think, if you had gotten that Larry Holmes gig for $1,000 a week or $1,000 a month?
Yeah, no, it was a week. I think
yeah.
that with either Ali or Larry Holmes, because Larry Holmes had a big name back then. He had a good jab. He didn't back up. He would fight you to the end. And I think if people knew I was his sparring partner, I think that would have helped also. But I think it was a lot more being Muhammad Ali's sparring partner than Larry Holmes. So. That's for him. I fought him and everything. I fought him, let me see, 1983? 1983, I fought him.
83, yeah.
He didn't like the idea of a man that's not scared of him, a young kid coming up, not scared of him, ready to fight him from South Philadelphia. He calls me a lot of, he's trying to mentally break me down, but he got to know, man, I came from down there where there's Italian, there's Irish, and it was blacks. The Spanish came a little later, and now right down there is all Mexicans and like all of my family and friends, they don't live down there no more. But that area made me what I am today. Them and the people that supported me, my neighborhood. I didn't make it on my own. I had support. People telling me that you're going to win. Tim, don't give up. Stuff like that. I know in Ali. Wow, that's a great outfit. I was a football player. I'm sparring partner with Ali. How'd that happen? Listen, I don't have a whole lot of money like a lot of these boxers. I had a chance to be successful financially, but I'm happy because I never believed I was going to make it this far. I thought I was going to be a tight end for a professional football team, and here I am. People know me as Terrible Tim Witherspoon, and I'm not upset. And I'm not really upset with Don. If you want to talk about him later, it's over with. I'm with my kids, and that's what's keeping me moving.
Nice.
Hey, Tim, it's great. Graham here. We had a conversation the other day about these new heavyweight.
Man, I'm sorry, Don.
Hey, we'll get this technology thing sorted out for you, and we'll have you back on the show real quick. But in the meantime, you had some really good things to say about these guys who are making so much money these days compared to what you were making back in the day, and you had some thoughts about what they should be doing with that money.
Yeah, I think that these guys worked hard to get to where they at, and get the money that they're making really a whole lot of money. But I do think that it's time for some type of organization, some kind of system that's going to help former boxers and boxers not mess their money up so we can be respected. I don't think a lot of people respected me. They did respect me, but I had money, then I lost money. But I think a lot of these boxers should start thinking about the sport. And instead of themselves, they have to take care of themselves. But the sports, there's other young people coming up right behind you. They're going to have the same problem I had and guys before me. We got to start protecting these young boxers that's coming out of amateur, turning pro. They got to have good lawyers. We have the right promoters promoting these guys. We got to have medical things waiting for. They don't have it. If you pass away. It took Rocky Lockridge 3 weeks to get buried. It took, it took a couple other fighters took them a long time. They had to raise money, and so that bothers me. Stuff like that. We in there taking punches. We taking a lot of stuff. We made it easier for the guys today to make the money that they're making. So we need them to listen to us. So there's a group of us. We're trying to get together. A guy from India, there's a guy from India, 2 guys from England, Paul Johnson and his buddy from Minnesota. We trying to put together some kind of package and try to go to Congress and see if we can work something out. But we need Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. We need what's the Spanish guy? We need these guys to step up and make our sport number one. And so that's the problem we had, and that's what I've been doing for a long time. Me, Paul Johnson, a lot of the guys. If anybody is interested in helping the boxing situation now, I'm willing and ready to listen. Let's go forward, because you don't want your kids or your cousin making a lot of money or not being managed right or not being taken care of when their career is over. So it's important, and a lot of people don't know that boxing is the only sport, I think, and I think there's one more other one that don't have a union. Everybody else do. So that's where I'm at today. I'm trying to help boxers. I know how to teach. I know how to teach real good boxers, so I'm not worried about that. What we need to help is these boxers leaving the game, these boxers messing their money up, these boxers not going in the right direction. We need support for them so we can make boxing number one. So that's what I've been doing.
That's great, actually.
We will support any way we can.
Definitely. Any way that we can help, Champ, you let us know. We're on board with that 100%.
Let me say this. There's some things. This is what I've been thinking about with the boxing game. There's some things, if we take it away, I think the interest in boxing won't be good. Like, I think this is funny too. Not funny, but it's serious. Like when the mob come in and make you take a dive, and there's a lot of things in boxing that people say, whoa, they do that in boxing? I feel as though if we take some of it away, the interest, like people won't be like, oh man, they want to. It seems to me like some of the people want to hear some of that bad stuff, because that's where boxing was. Guys was punch drunk, guys were getting ripped off, and all that. I think we got to find a way to leave some of that stuff in it, but not hurt the boxers. For some reason, I get that crazy feeling. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We're seeing that happening right now in amateur sport. Right now in amateur boxing, AIBA is in the middle of a complete overhaul, the Amateur Boxing Association, and that's the big thing, is getting to the bottom of the corruption and the mob mentality that was behind boxing, and try to get rid of that image that it has as being a dirty sport, or as being by its very nature a corrupt sport, or a sport that attracts corrupt people. And I think when we start right at the amateur ranks and we start to revamp that whole image, we're going to see it start to proliferate up through the ranks as these amateurs go pro. So hopefully we can see something like that happen in the professional ranks. And I think you're on the right track there, Tim.
Yeah, but
we need an organization to keep them honest.
Huh? What'd you say?
Oh, I said we need an organization to keep them honest.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like Paul Johnson, and it's long overdue. It's long overdue. And the amateurs, those guys are in school right now. They're like in university, first grade, second grade, third grade. They got to work their way up. The amateurs, you got to fight your way to the top. And when they turn pro, we got to have the best situation for them. Sign them up with big good and all that. And like there's a lot of people that want that to happen. So over in England, oh man, my daughter I was just trying to help me. She's from Tottenham, England, and I had to go over there to get her. This situation happened. She lives with me in America, but over there, man, it is 10, 20 times worse than America. I was actually over there training people. I helped Clinton Woods become champion, and they fired me. As soon as he won the title, they fired me. There's some other stuff that happened, but there was a kid right in front of me. I know the kid. I think he was one of the gypsy kids, and they gave him a contract, and he was getting ready to sign. I said, "Yo, you're not going to take that to your lawyer?" He said, "No, I trust him." And then another guy did the same thing. And then I asked this other guy. He said, "Well, that's the way it is over here. They just sign it." And I was like, I couldn't believe that. Can't believe it. They'll just sign the contracts. So over there, it sometimes is worse. Your management, I forgot the management and the promoter situation. Oh, the manager can be the promoter also over there. And that's wrong. You can't be a manager and a promoter. And the promoter in America cannot take money from a boxer. He has to generate the money for the boxer and his interest.
But that wasn't the case back in the late 80s, right? Or the early 80s and stuff like that. A lot of the promoters were stealing money, weren't they?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, like you were saying that promoters can't take money from boxers, but that wasn't the case back in the late 70s and early 80s, right?
Yeah, they was taking it then, but the Muhammad Ali Act and everything stopped doing. Like when we was pushing a little thing. So a promoter cannot take money from a boxer. That's illegal. And a promoter cannot be a manager. So we learned a lot of things. We learned a lot of things. So I do know that.
Yeah, you guys sacrifice. You guys went through a lot of sacrifices to actually bring it where it is today. And you know what? It's about time that these young guys that are making all this money do start listening to what you have to say. You and your people and your movement. And because all you're doing really is just setting them up for a great future in the end.
That is exactly what we want to happen. I don't think that Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder messed their money up. But I know there's some heavyweights. I was with Tyson in England, right? Before they stopped letting them in. We did like about 10 events together. I was with Tyson.
Right.
And I couldn't, like, he said he was broke. He said he made, no, this is what he told me. He said, yeah, well, I made, 500 million. How much did Tyson gross?
I thought it was like 300.
No, it was upwards of about between 300 and 500 million.
Million. Okay, now he made it like 400 or 500 million twice.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
And now he's got a net worth of $3 million.
Really?
250. What'd you say?
Today, Mike Tyson's net worth is estimated to be only $3 million.
Oh, but he's been making money over. Yeah, I know. Whoa, for real?
Recently, yes, he's been making money. I guess with his celebrity boxing and all that. The Legends Only League. He must be making some money with that. But yeah, he was dead broke a couple of years ago. He had zero money, and to make 500 million twice in your career and to lose that's crazy.
I think it's 200. I may be wrong. You're right.
That's crazy.
Twice, 200, 300 million. But I was in the room with him in Liverpool. Me and my daughter Shania. We was in Liverpool because I was on a tour with him. Right before they stopped him from going over, they said that because of that charge he got, he can't enter into the country. So I was talking to the promoters about that. But we was in the pool, and his room wasn't ready. And so me and Shania was in the room. Then we heard a knock on the door. We had his bodyguards came. They had their suitcases. And they said, Tim, we got to come in here. Till my room is ready, okay? I said, all right, Mike, y'all can go ahead. So I grabbed my daughter. I said, y'all can stand there. We can leave. He hollered at me. He said, where you going? I said, no, y'all can have the room until we go. He said, man, get in here. He said, get in here and sit down. So me and Shania were sitting down. They opened up the briefcase and dumped out at least to about, 80,000, maybe 100 and something thousand. And they was counting money. And so I said, I'm leaving. He grabbed me by the arm. I said, where you going? I said, yo, man, that's personal. Go ahead. He said, sit down, Tim. As soon as I sat down, he gave me $1,500. He just walked over and gave me $1,500. But they were counting their money from his events that he was going to over there. So we would go around to all the different towns. Oh, when they hear you coming, everybody get ready. And you know how many promoters get involved? Like if you go to a town, there's a guy there waiting there with a whole bunch of people. Like they know that he started the show. You go to this town, you go to Liverpool, you go to Blackpool. Everybody know they coming, and they start selling tickets. That's how it is over there. So we had about 30 shows to go to.
Oh wow!
All around the country and get different monies from different people.
Wow.
That's what it is over there.
Hey, Tim, I'm curious whether Mike Tyson has invited you to participate in his LOL venture.
Okay, this what happened too. I knew the promoter because I was doing it before Tyson was. I was going around doing shows, events, and we was cool. His name was Spencer Brown. So this is how I got on with Tyson. Spencer was like, Spencer was lying. Spencer said, tell Tyson, don't I treat you right? Now, in the beginning, I was being treated right. Then after a while, Spencer started like acting really negative. He was respecting me in a way, but he wouldn't pay me right. So when Tyson came, I kind of like lied. Spencer said, Tim, tell him I'll be looking out for you, man. Don't everything cool? And I gave him like it's everything good. But he wasn't. So then I was like, Tyson, I said, man, later he was talking to me, he said, man, did he really? I said, really, man, I was doing good in the beginning, but now he's not acting right. So he made the man pay me more money. More the show. Tyson is a good guy. He made Spencer let me go on the tour with them. But he cut me off with Tyson Fury. When Tyson Fury started coming over, I was over there, and he wouldn't cut me off. So I started talking to some of the people at the low, people that run around and do the work for him. And I said, yo, man, tell Spencer to put me with Tyson or Anthony Joshua, too. I was on the show with Anthony. I did about 3 shows with him, and then Spencer probably didn't want me to tell him anything negative about him. So, I was on shows with Joshua, too. Anthony Joshua, I did one show with Wilder. But Anthony Joshua, I was like 5 or 6 shows with him, and I was trying to get jobs with him and a job with Tyson Fury, because I can help me out. But that was a shame. So Tyson helped me out by telling the promoter I got to go on tour with him. He's a good guy. Tyson was good.
Nice.
Champ, I read something back that you were supposed to be getting back in the ring June 11th against Hazel, was it?
I already did that.
Yeah. So I was unable to watch it. Can you run us through that quickly? I missed that, man, and I was upset.
Yeah.
And are any chances of you getting back in the ring this year again?
Well, this is me getting in the ring has a lot to do with our boxer retirement stuff.
Right.
And this 1 minute retirement thing, if they want me to do stuff, celebrity boxing. I'm supposed to be the celebrity heavyweight boxing champion. I got my belt and everything. So Lamar Odom really was supposed to fight me, not Carter.
Oh, that would not have been good for Lamar Odom. Wow.
Yeah. If I'm the heavyweight champ of the world, he put up in celebrity boxing, he was supposed to fight me. So I fought Hazel, but I knew that I could just wipe him out. So I just went in the ring, and he could probably do a little bit more, but I didn't hurt him. I could have knocked him out in the first 5 seconds.
Is
that the fight where you're wearing the black shirt?
Yeah, well, that shirt is from a kid that died in boxing in England, so I don't want people to forget him. So that's the guy I am. That shirt I wore, the kid died in the fight, so I just want let everybody know that watching that he's still living. And that's the way I am. So I wore that shirt so everybody can remember. And, that's the person I am.
Yeah, much respect. I had a quick question going back to the prime of your boxing career. One of the things that I appreciate about your boxing skills is your defense. Not just simply, especially when you're coming forward, not just simply with your hands up blocking punches, but you had the arms across your body catching and slipping punches as you were coming forward on your opponent. Was that something that you really emphasized during your training, or is that something that just came naturally? Well, obviously I know you worked on it, because doing that at the highest level, you obviously have to work on that. But how much did you focus on that during your training, or how important was that, or any techniques you can tell any of the boxers that are listening?
Yeah, defense is just as important as an overhand right or a Mike Tyson left. defense is just as important. I'm going to try to keep my answers a little short so we can get a lot in, and I know we're going to be next time. But my defense, that gave me a lot of confidence. When my trainer, Slim Jim Robinson, he was a hell of a trainer. Today's trainers, there's a lot of stuff going on with them. We could talk about that. But today's trainers, if you didn't get those little tricks and stuff that those old trainers back in the day had, then you just got to find a way to maneuver your way in and figure out a way to do what you had to do, because my trainer taught me defense. He taught me how to do the overhand right. He taught me what to do when I get attacked. It seems like they're not doing this today. And the videos that Dante Wilder is putting up, I text on his page to tell him to put it down. when I was boxing, if your opponent, if you let your opponent see all your information, then he already gonna know some stuff. So yeah. They're stupid by posting. They post Dante Wilder, and I text and say, "Look, can you take them down? Your opponent gonna see what you're doing and capitalize on it, because that's what they used to do back in the olden days." So Dante Wilder just giving his cards away by showing all his stuff. You see him he posted them on there. So each time he did it, I said, "Yo, stop posting your videos on there." And they inexperienced. So he got Malik Scott training him, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he has Malik Scott training him now.
Partner. Malik Scott he's a friend of mine, and I don't want to put the bad thing on him, but I thought he was a sparring partner. He was a part of Dante Wilder's team, and so I guess he just moved up. Back in my day, the promoters, Dennis Rappaport, who had Cooney, Mark Stewart, there's a couple other promoters, they would step to you, and Don King too. If you didn't get
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, no.
Oh, mid-story.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Right when you said if you didn't get you were about to say if you didn't get the something, and then it cut out.
Oh, wait. So Dennis Rappaport, who was with Jerry Cooney, he was my manager too. But Don King would not tolerate that if your trainer wasn't right. He would do research. We would sit down and watch videos of other boxers, and there's a couple other promoters and managers knew boxing. These guys today are just collecting that money. Let me tell you something. Dante Wilder making all that money, this big fight, this is the biggest fight of his life, and they can't get somebody with the right knowledge. I'm not saying Malik Scott can't help him, but when I watched the video, all I saw was offense and showing off. I didn't see nobody blocking and throwing a punch or slipping, throwing a punch. I didn't see that. I texted on there and said, "Yo, man, y'all need to stop showing your videos because you're looking like amateurs." Right. But they beautiful. It's not because they don't have the experience. I've been there and done it. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm going to let you guys know that. I don't know everything. But I know for a fact, them posting on videos, right? You don't see Tyson Fury posting none. I don't know if he's aware that it's not good to post your videos before a fight.
The only thing Tyson Fury posts is him drinking.
What'd you say?
The only thing Tyson Fury's been posting lately is how good he's getting at drinking.
Oh boy! But let me say this to you real quick. We can jump on this. You can jump on a lot of things later. Listen, Larry Merchant. When I went over to fight Frank Bruno, I know we jumping from here, we jumping over there, we going over here.
It's all good.
Listen, Larry Merchant. When I went over to England, him and a couple of newscasters, the guys that did the show, they were talking so bad about me. Watch me and Frank Bruno's video, and you hear them, "Oh, look at that layer on his stomach. Look at that layer. He must be drunk a lot of this and that." But you heard them say one thing about Tyson Fury. Just watch my video, and we can get on the podcast, because I feel like I'm going to be part of your team. We can get on these pods and talk. because if there's any way we can get information out, I'm gonna be a part of it out. But you see that stuff on the side, and I'm cool with Tyson. I'm cool with him. I don't want to talk negative about him. I love that brother. I love Wilder. I love Joshua. But you not heard them criticize him one time about his weight on the side. But if you watch my video when I fought Bruno, my own people was down on me from America. From America, Larry Merchant, Sugar Ray didn't though. Sugar Ray was like doing a boxing thing, but he did say, "Oh, chin might be a little too heavy." But Larry Merchant, but here you go. You get Tyson Fury. You see all that stuff hanging off the side. You don't hear nobody say nothing. You hear nobody, but they criticized my own team and criticized. And then when I knocked him out, they had something negative. Just watch the video and you see them. They put the people from America. They put the people from America, and they down at me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Watch the video.
I will, champ. I'm gonna watch that video for sure.
We will.
How about this? That we're closing in on an hour's length. So how about we set you up for another show with us next Friday? And next Friday we'll get you on live on the air as opposed to a phone call. How's that?
Yeah, and listen. No, I don't want no phone call. Right, real quick. I mean, anytime you want to get me on, just do it. I'll make it available to help out. It'll help me out because like not part of the team. If I can be on there, I'll do it because I'll be getting information. I can let you guys know some stuff that people probably didn't hear. You know,
Tim, we would love for you. Tim, we would love for you to join the team.
Okay.
We would love for you to join the team, Tim. We would. We would love for you to join the team. Be a regular on our Friday night panel if you're up for that.
Okay, if I can't make some Fridays,
that's fine. That's fine. But yes, if you would like to be a regular member of our panel, we would love it. We would love for you to join and be part of the Talk and Fight team.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Right.
The ayes have it. We've made it a unanimous decision, and you're now part of the Talk and Fight family. We love it.
I hate to break it to you, Tim. This is unfortunately this is how we snared Cedric. We got him the exact same way. We tricked him into an interview on a Friday night panel, and he hasn't been able to get rid of us since. But he looks pretty happy with it. It's okay.
Who's the brother with the dreads?
Yeah.
With some dreads.
Yes, that's me.
Man.
Fight. Used to fight.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry you was cutting out. I'm sorry you cut out. I didn't hear the question.
Were you a boxer?
Yeah, just amateur. I only had 30 amateur fights. Now I'm a coach.
Oh, you from Canada?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. You know, I know the Hilton brothers. I was with them crazy dudes. I was with them brothers, man. Trained at Don King's camp.
Yes, the Montreal Hilton brothers. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I live in Windsor now, but I'm from Montreal. Yep. Definitely heard about those boys.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Them brothers was kicking booty. I don't care what color you was. He had heart.
Yes.
Brother Stewart, he died in a motorcycle accident or something. He was kind of a little different, but the rest of the brothers, they were down to earth and they get in the ring. They didn't care what color you was. They were bang.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
They were tough, wasn't they?
Yes, they were. They definitely were.
Davey, Alex. It was David, Alex, and one more. Wasn't another one?
I forget the third one, but David and Alex were definitely in the news a lot.
Oh, Alex, the punch to the body. Oh, Alex, I used to see him go to the body, and he won the championship too.
He did.
Alex, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was still a little kid when they were doing their thing, but I do remember them a little bit.
Oh man, they were pretty good. How much time we got?
I think we're almost there. We're almost at the end.
Yeah, we're gonna wind it out, and we're gonna get Tim back on the show as regularly as possible because now he's part of the Talk and Fight team by unanimous decision.
Right.
And I really hope he can lend his expertise on all realms, whether it's training tips, whether it's commentating on the fights that are upcoming, whether it's commentating on the fights or analyzing fights that have happened that past week.
Well,
That helps us out.
You know I'm flying to the fight. Talk Sports hired me to go to their company in England, and they hired me to go to Vegas for a couple of days and do radio for Talk Sports.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll be leaving a couple of days before the fight, and they're sending their people from England, so I'm going there. But our thing on Sunday, I would like to get on and talk about my experience. Wait a minute, when is the fight? What day is the fight on?
The heavyweight fight is 24th, I believe.
Is that a Saturday?
That's a Saturday, and then I do a show on Sunday that recaps all that stuff.
Okay, so I'll be home by then, and so I'll do the show. I'm gonna do it next week too if you want me to.
Yes,
And
definitely, Tim. Definitely.
And then I'm gonna be at the show. I will tell you my experience, or y'all guys just work something out. I'll be there.
We will.
Well, Tim, are you still going to be able to do the July 11th show, the Sunday symposium?
What this Sunday?
July 11th with Paul Johnson and yourself and me.
Yeah.
Remember, that's July 11th, Sunday, July 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. Listen, you can bring us on anytime. Paul, real quick, Paul is one of the nicest guys in the world. That's why I like him. And he get to be in charge of some things. He will not stab nobody in the back. Like I told you, he's a war veteran. He had 12 fights. And he don't even look like a boxer. He got all this gray hair. He's short and thin. And he's one of the nicest guys. And I can sense that he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So he's looking forward to it. That's the 11th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
July 11th, Sunday afternoon.
I got it written down, and you're going to remind me. I appreciate y'all guys having me on because, like we talked about the union, there's a lot of former boxers out there, not sharp. They're not back on the scene. They're not doing things, and we're just sitting around dormant. And we need people that have us on radio, on television, so we can have so boxing can still understand a lot of things that's going on. There's a lot of boxers don't have nothing to do. Former boxers. That's why I don't mind getting on and talking. It's sharpening me up, and it's helping me. I'm happy, and I can train boxers and stuff. And I'm just saying, this is what we need, stuff like this. I know I'm not getting paid, but I'm just trying. I'm just using this too to better myself. I might get a job somewhere else, but I like your team, and I'll be willing to come on every Sunday. Hopefully, something big can happen.
Yeah, man.
Is that okay?
I'm ready.
There you go.
I'm ready.
Wow.
Awesome.
You heard it first here, folks.
Yeah, man. All right, Graham, why don't you get us ready and get us out of here for our...
Yeah, no, thanks very much for joining us, Tim. Typically, Mike takes us out.
I'm part of the team.
You
Yes,
are
you're part of the
definitely
team.
part of the team.
All right.
Part of the team.
Talkin' Fight family, we have a new addition. Thanks, Tim, for joining us today here on the panel, and we look forward to having you on in the future. For all our viewers around the world watching, you know that what it was, man. Another wonderful episode of the panel with two-time heavyweight champ Tim Witherspoon. Terrible Tim. Jab that like, hook, subscribe. Knock us out those comments. See you next week.
Thank you.